Hi, welcome to another episode of Lost in the Pond, and specifically welcome to yet another quiz. These particular episodes are proving very popular, so I thought I'd continue on that train and see where it takes me. And today it is taking me to the White House, or at least to the President of the United States, which I was challenged to try to name. So in doing so, I went to Sporcle.com and I pulled up the very first presidential quiz that I could find. And basically that quiz is, can you name the presidents? And thankfully the quiz itself doesn't look so brutal in that you don't have to name them all in order or anything like that. You just have to name them all. The clue given appears to be the year in which they reigned. Not reigned, we're not in England anymore. The year in which their administration was in office. Now, I'm quietly confident about this. I think I've got a decent knowledge of the president, specifically in the 20th and 21st centuries. So let's give it a go. So I have 10 minutes to do this by the looks of it, and I think what I'm going to do is, because my sort of knowledge of 20th and 21st century presidents is better, so I'm going to leave that until the end, so that if I'm rushing for time, at least, you know, I can get those knocked out really quickly, at least hopefully. So to start with then, we'll go with the first president. He's right there. That's Mr. George Washington. In fact, hopefully it'll just allow me to type only their last name and then it'll work. John Adams was right after him. And that, when I type Adams, that includes John Adams and John Quincy Adams. So that's two down in one go. In fact, you could do that with a couple of them, couldn't you? You could do it with, we could do it with Grover Cleveland, because he was president twice. So Cleveland, yep, there he goes. There were two Harrisons. Just knock these out. Look at that. Two Harrisons, William H. Harrison and Benjamin Harrison. Two Roosevelts, of course, Teddy and Franklin. And so that's that. There are a couple of others, aren't there, where the name's replicated? Well, Bush, obviously. I'll do that later. You know, I'm just going to go through any at random now. These aren't in order, as I said. So Lincoln, we've got 12 out of 45, doing well so far. Rutherford B Hayes, there we go. Let's get the sort of obscure ones out of my mouth, out of my brain, because I don't even know what he was doing in my brain. Rutherford B Hayes, what were you doing in my brain? Same for you, Polk. I don't even know what you were doing there. And Garfield. I don't know, there's a bunch of them, aren't there? Some of them died in office, Garfield included. Oh, who was after Grover Cleveland? Wasn't that... no, Taft was after Roosevelt. We'll come back to that. We're just going to knock these out, like I said. I haven't done Thomas Jefferson, you fool. Jefferson, just the last name, Lawrence. You can do it much quicker that way. This is getting hard now. What's his name? The one whose grandkids are still alive, John Tyler. He's got two grandchildren who are still alive. Look this up if you don't know this story. They may have died since I last looked it up. That was only a few months ago, which it's mental. He was president from 1845. Excuse me, I'm misreading that. From 1841 to 1845. And his grandchildren, two of his grandchildren are still alive. And that's because he was old when he had kids, and his kid was old when he had kids. So it just sort of, extended out the longevity of it. Okay, so where am I now? I am at 18 out of 45. I've got 7 minutes left. That seems like a long time, but it'll hit me fast. I'm pretty certain of it. Who else have we got? We've got, the two Jameses. James Madison and James Monroe. Let's type in Monroe. There we go. And then we had Andrew Jackson was right after Quincy Adams, wasn't he? Is that right? Yes. And then who else are we missing here? Pierce. Pierce is the forgotten man, isn't he? Franklin Pierce. It's good to get the forgotten people out of there, because I thought I'd forgotten them. Like I said, they've infiltrated my brain. Thanks for that, Franklin Pierce, you handsome man. And also then let's not stick around here. Let's stick around. Let's stick around in the 20th century for a bit, the early 20th century, because that's sort of a bit harder, I think, sometimes. Woodrow Wilson, out of the bag there. Who was the guy? And I think it was the guy who followed him, and he died in office, so it must have been, and it was the guy who coined, or rather popularized, I should say, the word normalcy. The word normalcy was in use, I think, prior to this president, but it hadn't sort of hit the big time, as it were, in America. America often uses normalcy as a kind of alternative to normality, which is the favored usage in Britain. And this president's name began with an H, and I've forgotten it. It was Warren G. Harding. Warren G. Harding has just come to me. What do we got? 5 minutes, 47 seconds. And I need to get 21 more presidents. Of course, we've got all of those 20th century presidents. I'll hopefully knock those out fairly fast. But it's those 19th century ones now that proving very, very tricky to remember off the top of my head. Ulysses S Grant just came to me. Ulysses, don't misspell that. Ulysses, just put Grant, you idiot. There we go. Ulysses S Grant. Okay, we are down to 20 more. Bloody hell. Who did we have? Buchanan. Buchanan, not a particularly popular president, at least historically. The guy who was from Old Kinderhook, who popularized the word "okay" in his presidential campaign, was Martin Van Buren. Martin Van Buren, you beautiful man with lovely sideboards. We're close. Well, we're not that close, actually, are we? We've got 18 still to go. I'm a bit nervous now that the time's ticking away, that I will lose time to put in those 20th century ones, so I'm going to do it. So after Warren G. Harding, it would have been Calvin Coolidge. Oh, spell Coolidge right. Yeah. Okay, and then it was Herbert Hoover. Goodness. No, just put Hoover. What are you doing? Goodness me. And then it was Truman after FDR, not Truman, that's not a name. And then Eisenhower, and then did it go Eisenhower? Then Kennedy, then Johnson. Did I? Oh, there are two Johnsons. That was it. Lyndon and Andrew. Yes, that's nice. It's beautiful when you fill in two at once. I can't tell you how satisfying that is. Then it was Nixon. Then he was obviously followed by Gerald Ford, who pardoned him. Then there was Jimmy Carter. Then Reagan. We've got Bush in between both Bushes. No, don't take that the wrong way. There was Clinton. Then Obama. Now we're getting into, with Obama and Trump, we're getting into territory that's going to set the comments aflame with arguments. So I'm going to go back in time now to a historical president over whom all of this vitriol has subsided, but I don't know which one because, we're down to 4 presidents that I have to try to remember the names of right now. So let me see. We have, there's another William, isn't there? Goodness, another one that was assassinated. McKinley, it came to me on a dime. Why did it come to me on a dime? Because I'm not very well off. Okay, William McKinley, you are a dead man. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, but he is in there. And 1897 to 1901. Now we're looking for 1881 to 1885. We are 3 presidents shy of completing this. Who do I not have? Let's have a look here. Garfield is in. He's dead. We have 2 minutes, 39 seconds to go. Gee, this is difficult. Who are the other presidents? Oh, this is going to kill me. Let's see. We've got 1849 to 1850. This is really difficult. We've got Quincy Adams. We've got all of them. 2 minutes to go. Oh, bloody. I know that a number of you are shouting at your screens at home and wondering why the hell I'm not getting these. But it's bloody hard when you don't have them in front of you and you don't know them sequentially, as I perhaps should do. Maybe I should shut up and try to think about some of these. Oh gosh, I bet it's somebody really well known or really important in some regard. Who am I missing? 42 out of 45. It's going to kill me. It is going to kill me not getting these. Let's see. So we've got Franklin Pierce. Who was just before him and who died in office? Did I do... Oh, Zachary Taylor. Just put Taylor, you prat. I mentioned him the other day. He was in the other quiz, wasn't he? He came up in the previous quiz. I am down to 2 more. This is killing my face off. It's not really. It's still here, as you can see. Oh, goodness me. So 1881 to 1885. 1885 is when Marty McFly went back in time to. Is there any reference in Back to the Future 3 to the President of the United States? There isn't, or at least not one that I recall. This is the worst thing ever. Between Garfield and Cleveland. Who was between Garfield and Cleveland? The name of a cat and the name of a famous city, which was not named after Grover Cleveland, incidentally. I found out recently, but you didn't need to know that because we have 54 seconds left. cannot think of who these people are. Off the top of my head, who is it? We didn't have any Christophers. We didn't have any Dezes. I don't know. Billy Smith. There's no such person. I'm going to kick myself when I see these. 43 out of 45 is not favourable, in my opinion. We're at 30 seconds. Help me here, people. You can't. You're not here. This is the worst, because I know when it pops up, I'll know the names instantly, and it'll just kill me to know that I didn't get them. 20 seconds. Oh, goodness. I'm not going to get them, so I'll throw out another presidential fact, I guess. Theodore Roosevelt coined the phrase "on the bandwagon." That's a fact. You can look it up if you want. And Thomas Jefferson coined the word belittle. And speaking of which, don't belittle me, because I forgot Chester A. Arthur and Millard Fillmore. I'm so unhappy about that. Chester A. Arthur, I don't know much about his presidency, but I bloody love that name. Anyway, so that's it. I got 43 out of 45. How did you do in the time? Were you playing along? Hope you were. Let me know in the comments below if I should have done better. All right, thank you. Bye. Well, that was fun, although I now have Chester A. Arthur and Millard Fillmore sharing rent space in my brain with Rutherford B Hayes, which is always fun, of course. Let me know how you did, by the way, in the comments below. And if you're not yet a patron of ours, why not go over to patreon.com/lostinthepond. Not only will your name show up in this list to the right, along with these other fine folks, but you'll get a lot of bonus footage, and that's always fun, isn't it? Seeing my face again and again and again and again. Not only that, but we're still going to be having that book drawing that's going to be taking place in early January for Lynn Murphy's The Prodigal Tongue. So, you know, if you were to sign up now, you'll still be entered into that book drawing. So that's what I'm saying, is go over to patreon.com/lostinthepond for a chance to do that. And if you liked seeing me take quizzes about America, why not see me try to guess the placement geographically of all of the 50 states by clicking on this link right here. And you can also subscribe to me by hitting my stupid little face. Bye.